So as we have discussed, Active Directory is a Microsoft Server operating system role. So it is a role, and Active Directory is having sub roles: naming master, schema master, RID master, PDC emulator, infrastructure master, global catalog. These are the 6 sub roles of Active Directory. And the first 5 roles are called as FSMO roles. These first 5 roles are naming master, schema master, RID master, PDC emulator, infrastructure master. So these 5 roles are called as FSMO roles, and these 5 roles will be there only on the domain controller. So first 5 roles are combined and they are named as FSMO roles, and single master means these roles will be installed only on master server. These roles will be installed only on the domain controller. Okay, so if these 5 roles are there on any server, it will be domain controller. If these 5 roles are not there, which means it is not a domain controller. Okay, so flexible means roles can be transferred from DC to ADC. But why we are transferring the roles? Let us try to understand. So when do we transfer the FSMO roles from DC to ADC? This DC is having 5 rows, FSMO rows, and we can transfer them to ADC. But when do we transfer it? Let us try to understand. We transfer the FSMO rows during the maintenance. Okay, so when you want to do some maintenance, at that time you will transfer the rows. For example, DC is configured on an old server. So this domain controller is configured on an old server. Okay, so this server is having some problem. It is having problems. Let us say this server is very slow, but it is not completely down. It is very slow. So the DC is configured on an old server and it is having some performance issues, and we need to replace this server. So we want to bring one new server. So to replace the server, this DC will be shut down. So when you shut down this DC, we will have the ADC. Okay, the users will be able to log on through this ADC, but we don't have DC in our network. So before removing this domain controller, okay, so before removing this domain controller from our network, what we will do, we will transfer the FSMO roles of this domain controller to ADC, and we will make this ADC domain controller. Now this ADC is having all the 5 rows, all the FSMO rows. This ADC will become DC, and this DC will become ADC, and we can remove this server now. So we can transfer FSMO rows from DC to ADC. ADC will become DC, and DC will become ADC, and we can replace the old server. And we can shut down the ADC now, the current ADC. We can shut it down, and we can add the new server and make this new server as ADC. Then we can transfer the rows from this DC to new ADC, and we can make this new server as domain controller. But why to transfer the rows from DC to ADC? Why can't we work with ADC? Okay, so ADC is there, right? This server is slow and we are removing this server, but we have ADC. The users will be able to log on using this ADC. What is the purpose of moving the FSMO rows? Let us try to understand. So guys, ADC works as a backup of domain controller. If this DC goes down, user can log in with ADC, but we can't create a new DC with ADC. Even ADC is having the same data. So with this ADC, guys, we can't create one more server. We can't create one more ADC. We can't create one more DC. Let us say we have removed this server. We have ADC, and ADC also goes down. this user won't be able to log on to the server because we could not create one additional domain controller or domain controller using this ADC. So we can create multiple ADCs from DC. That is why we are moving all the rows from DC to ADC, and this server will become DC. Now, what we can do, we can make ADCs from this server. So now guys, our requirement is to transfer the FSMO roles from domain controller from 10.0.0.1 to ADC, which is 10.0.0.2. And the server name of this domain controller is server-01, and the server name of this ADC is server-02. So we'll transfer the role from server 1 to server 2. So transfer of role is applicable when DC and ADC are working. So guys, we can transfer the role only when this DC is working. Okay, it is working, it is having some issues, but it is working. Okay, it is up. So when it is up, then only we can transfer the role. If it is not up, we can't transfer the roles. So guys, pre-transfer verifications, we'll do some verifications. The first verification is verify which is the primary server, which is the domain controller, and which is the backup server, which is ADC. So how will you verify? You will run this command. You will go to command prompt of each computer, each server. You will run this command net accounts. And so we run this command on 10.0.0.1, and you can see primary means this is the domain controller. Then we will go to 10.0.0.2 and we'll run this command net accounts, and it is backup. Okay, it is an additional domain controller. Backup means additional domain controller. Then we'll do the second verification. Verify if the DC and ADC are pinging or not. So we need to check the reachability between DC and ADC. Then only we can transfer the roles. If the reachability is not there, we can't transfer the roles. So we'll go to any server and we'll ping. Let us go to 10.0.0.1 and ping 10.0.0.2. So you should get the replies. And guys, third verification. Verify which server is having the FSMO roles. So we need to verify which server is having the FSMO roles. So how will you verify? You will run this command net dom query FSMO. So you will run this command on any server. You can run this command on domain controller. You can run this command on additional domain controller. You will get the same output. This command will tell you where is this FSMO roles installed. So it is installed on server 1. Schema master, domain, naming master, PDC, RID, infrastructure master. Okay. So we'll verify these three things first, then we'll transfer the roles. Let us go to the servers. So first we'll verify which server is the domain controller and which is the additional domain controller. We'll go to command prompt, net accounts, and this server 1 10.0.0.1 is our primary server. Okay, let me show you the IP address as well. 10.0.0.1 is our domain controller. We will go to server 2. We'll go to command prompt. So guys, just observe the names here, okay? We'll wait for a few seconds. Let us verify the IP address first. IP config. The IP address is 10.0.0.2. Then we'll run net accounts. And you can see 10.0.0.2 is our backup server, additional domain controller. Then we'll check the reachability. So we'll ping, we are at 10.0.0.2, we'll ping 10.0.0.1. It is pinging, the reachability is there, and let us see which server is having the FSMO roles. So you can run this command on ADC and DC. We'll run on both the servers. Okay, you will get the same output. netdom query FSMO. It is collecting the information. It will give you this output. Okay, you can see schema master, domain naming master, PDC, RID pool manager, infrastructure master. All of them are in server1, server1.ms.com. If you run the same command on the domain control, you will get the same message. It is telling you where are these FSMO roles installed. So net domain query FSMO. So you can see FSMO roles are with server 1 because server 1 is the domain controller. We have seen it is a primary server. So it will have the 5 roles. Now guys, let us say this server 1 is having some issues. It is a very old server and the server is very slow and we want to replace this server. What we will do, we'll transfer these roles. Then only other server will become the domain controller. Let us see how to transfer the roles. So guys, to transfer the roles from domain controller to additional domain controller, we need to follow 2 steps. The first step is we need to connect DC with ADC. We will see how to connect the DC with ADC. Then we'll transfer the roles one by one. So all the 5 roles will not be transferred in one shot. You need to transfer them manually one by one. So what we will do, we'll log on to the domain controller. Then we'll open the command prompt. In the command prompt, we'll run this command, ntds util. Okay, you can see we are in the command prompt and we have run this command, ntds util. When you type this command, it will take you to ntds util mode. Under this ntds util mode, you will run this command roles. Once you run this roles command, it will take you, this roles will take you to FSMO maintenance mode. So this FSMO maintenance mode, it is very important mode. So under this FSMO maintenance mode, you will type this command, connections. When you type this connection commands, it will take you to server connections mode. Under this server connections mode, you will connect the domain controller with additional domain controller using this command, connect to server. Then you will provide the server name. Okay, binding to server, and it is connected to server 2 now. So it is connected. This is our first step. First step is to connect the domain controller with additional domain controller. This is how you will connect them. After connecting the servers, we need to transfer the FSMO roles. So FSMO roles will be transferred in this FSMO maintenance mode. So again, you need to go back to FSMO maintenance mode. How will you go back to FSMO maintenance mode? You will type quit. Okay, so you will type quit and it will take you to FSMO maintenance mode. In this FSMO maintenance mode, you will transfer the rows one by one. Let us see how will you transfer the rows one by one. What is the command? These are the commands. Okay, the first command is transfer naming master. The second command is after transferring the naming master role, you will transfer schema master using this command, transfer schema master, then transfer infrastructure master, transfer RID master, then transfer PDC. In PDC, you don't need to add master or emulator keyword. You will type only PDC, transfer PDC, then it will transfer the roles. So we must transfer the roles one by one, and roles can be transferred in any sequence. So this sequence is not important. You can transfer the roles in any sequence. Okay, so you will type this command. You are in the FSMO maintenance mode, then you will type this command, transfer naming master. So it will ask for the confirmation. You will click yes, then it will transfer the rows. Then you will type this command, transfer schema master, then you will click yes. Transfer infrastructure master, then you will click yes. Transfer RID master, then you will click yes. Then transfer PDC, okay, without any emulator or master keyword. So you will type this command, then you will click yes. After that, we'll verify. So post transfer verification, we'll go to 10.0.0.2 and we will run this net accounts command. You will see primary. It will become domain controller and DC will become ADC. And if you go to 10.0.0.1 and you will run this net accounts command, it will become backup. Now we can remove this domain controller, or we can remove this new ADC and we'll add the new server. And from this server, it is DC now. From this server, we can create the additional domain controllers. Then we'll verify using this net query FSMO command. You will see server 2 now. Server 2 is having all these 5 roles. Okay, guys, let us transfer them. So we need to follow 2 steps. The first step is to connect the current DC with current ADC. So you will go to command prompt and you will run this command, NTDS-UTIL. So we are in the NTDS util mode. Under this NTDS util mode, we will type roles command. Now we are in the FSMO maintenance mode. Under this FSMO maintenance mode, we will type connections. So we are in the server connections mode and we need to connect the server 1 with server 2. So you will type this command, connect to server. Then you will give the server name server 2. Connected to server 2. So it is connected. Now we need to transfer the rows. So to transfer the rows, we need to enter into FSMO maintenance mode. So how will you go back to FSMO maintenance mode? You will type this quit command. Now we are in the FSMO maintenance mode. Now we will transfer the rows one by one. Let us transfer the naming master first. So transfer naming master. Are you sure you want the role of naming master transferred to the server 2? Yes. Let us transfer the second role. Transfer schema master. Are you sure? Yes. Then transfer infrastructure master. Then we'll transfer RID master. Then we'll transfer PDC emulator. So we'll type only transfer PDC. So guys, the roles are transferred. Let us verify the things. Quit, quit. Okay, so we are in server one, okay, which was domain controller before. Now it should show the backup net accounts, and you can see it is showing that it is a backup server, not the domain controller. And let us verify the roles. Okay, net dom query FSMO. Now you can see all these 5 roles are with server 2. We'll go to server 2. Previously it was a backup server. If you see, it was a backup server. Now it should be a primary server. You can see it is a primary server. And schema master, domain naming master, PDC emulator, RID pool manager, infrastructure master, all these 5 roles are with server 2. It is the domain controller now. Okay, so let me change the name. And server 1 is our additional domain controller.